Oh, what's good, everybody? Surprise, surprise. It is Mikey P behind the wheel. That means we're going to have fun. As much fun as we can for the day that it is, or day that it was in the National Football League. Not great. Not great. Not great on our picks. Went 5-6. Not great. As a Bears fan, I mean, these things happen in the NFL. What are you going to do about it? We will go around the league and then we will play a little bit of a Sunday. Because listen, when I'm here by myself, I've got to do this as, somebody who wants to do for you guys, do more for you guys. So when I look at, I'm going to be here by myself, I've got to do all of this on my own. I got to put in more picks. I got to put in more plays. I got to do more things. The best part about the NFL right now is we still got the World Series going on. We got the NBA season here, but that is neither here or there. Let's go around the National Football League. And you know what? Because I'm the only one here, I'll just start off. I'll just start with a little vent session. We'll talk about the Baltimore Ravens knocking off the Chicago Bears 30-16. The Bears defense, which has really depended on getting takeaways throughout their 4-game winning streak, which is now over, got none against Snoop Huntley and the Ravens, who have been atrocious on offense. Caleb Williams, not looking like the Caleb Williams the Bears are hoping for at this stage of his development. He's looking better, but he's not looking like, let's say, a Drake May, who we will be talking about, or a Bo Nix, who we will be talking about. So Caleb Williams, some bad throws, some big mistakes, but overall, this Bears team is going to be a team that's going to continue to hurt themselves with penalty after penalty after penalty. They had 19 penalties coming into this game over the last 2 games, which were a win. And as I check my notes, let's see, just another 11 penalties. So 30 penalties in the last 3 games. You're literally averaging 30 penalties a game, 10 penalties a game. I get so frustrated I can't even talk about it. So very undisciplined football, very uncoordinated football. And when you're down in the red zone, you must come away with touchdowns, not field goals. So that was the demise of Chicago. But you guys are not here to listen to me talk and rant and vent about the Chicago Bears. So let's start with a team that I think there was a lot of unexpected big things happening in the NFL today. I really don't know where to start besides the early portion of the schedule. So I'm going to start with the Miami Dolphins and the Atlanta Falcons. Tua Tagovailoa, or as Kimberly says, Tua turned the ball over. Well, he went 20 of 26 for 4 touchdowns as the Dolphins absolutely went off over the Atlanta Falcons. Final score in that one, 34-10. This is what's so frustrating about this Dolphins team. They could put up 34 points in a heartbeat. They can show a really good offense no matter who they play against. Atlanta beat Buffalo, right? So that's saying something. Now, I understand Atlanta was without Drake London. I know their linebacker Diablo was placed on injured reserve. They're missing pieces. But that shouldn't mean Miami can do whatever they want all game long. Michael Penix was out for this game due to injury. Kirk Cousins was in, and Kirk Cousins on the day, not great. 21 of 31 for 173 yards, no picks, no touchdowns. So Kirk Cousins, thank you for collecting a check, I think. I'm not sure. Both of these teams at this point in this season, to me, in my opinion, are dead. I know the NFC South is kind of a crapshoot at this point, but I see the Falcons as being a team that is looking towards next year. I think they're dead. Another team that's definitely dead on the season, but has something to celebrate today, the New York Jets. Jets, 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 Jets. You know what? It doesn't happen really often, so let's go ahead and let's give it up for the Jets. I mean, round of applause. Round of applause. They somehow found a way to get it done. 39-38 over the Joe Flacco-led Bengals. You know what? I encourage everyone, and this is not him being a former Bear. This is me just being a truther, if you will, in the National Football League. Go look at Justin Fields, Jets quarterback, post-game press conference, and listen to a man who got extremely vulnerable, something you don't see in the NFL these days, talking about how he was in his closet crying as he was kind of going through a whirlwind week. Jets owner Woody Johnson took a shot at the quarterback play. Aaron Glenn all week was not announcing the starter, kind of playing mind games. This is not Pop Warner. This is not college football. You don't play games with professional athletes. And to his credit, Justin Fields could have mailed it in. Justin Fields could have said, I'm done. I'm out. I don't want this. Now, Tyrod Taylor was ruled out of this game due to injury. He is the backup in New York. But Justin Fields could have taken his ball and went home. He could have said, you don't want me? I'm not playing. Instead, he showed up. 21 of 32, 244 yards through the air and 1 touchdown. And then he had 31 yards on the ground. Also, it wasn't just Justin Fields as a quarterback. It was the New York Jets. You want to see an established identity from teams through their 8th game of the season, and you're not seeing it with the Jets until today. Over 250 yards on the ground, 254 to be exact. Breece Hall had 2 touchdowns on 133 yards. Isaiah Davis, right from where I live in my backyard of Joplin, Missouri, 7 carries, 65 yards. He added another 44 as a receiver. So big offensive performance from the New York Jets. And on the other side, Joe Flacco, 223 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. I don't know what the Bengals are doing. I know it's their offense. Their defense is just very, very bad. Their defense, when you're allowing 39 points to a winless Jets team, listen, as a Bears fan, I watch Bengals and Jets and I go, okay, maybe there's a way to turn this around quickly if you're Chicago. The Bengals couldn't stop anyone. And if you're letting the New York Jets put up 39 on you, and I want to look at the front office because there's so many things that you could have focused your attention on. You let your defensive coordinator leave in the offseason. You had this holdout with Trey Hendrickson throughout the... Where is Shamar Stewart? Where is Demetrius Knight? These are your top 2 picks. Just because you spend your top picks on defense doesn't mean you're spending them correctly. I love Demetrius Knight. I think he's going to be the top linebacker in Cincinnati for years to come. But Shamar Stewart, the guy who held out, the rookie who held out, just like Trey Hendrickson, and we haven't heard from either of them to start this season, or almost now halfway through the season. We haven't heard from them. They haven't made an impact. You don't say. Surprising to say the least. It wasn't. Big Cheesy, Nonsense, Kimberly, thank you all for tuning in. Speaking of Demetrius Knight, he had 12 tackles in this game. And on the same accord of 12, Jamar Chase, 12 catches, 91 yards, while T. Higgins had a touchdown in that one. So Aaron Glenn gets off he gets over the hump, and he gets his first win as a NFL head coach. So hats off to Aaron Glenn on that one. The Jets put up 23 points in the 4th quarter. And on some somber, sad news, maybe the Jets played a little inspired. Just less than an hour before kickoff, it was announced that 41-year-old former Jet, who was actually eligible for the Hall of Fame this year, Nick Mangold, passed away due to a kidney disease. So thoughts and prayers to the Mangold family. Was definitely one of the most entertaining and polarizing players as I was growing up in a Jets uniform. So he will surely be missed, and maybe the Jets played a little motivated for Mangold in that one. Moving on, staying in the AFC East, because that's just what we're doing. We talk Dolphins, we talk Jets. Let's talk about, I can't believe I'm going to do this. Let's talk about Drake May quite possibly being the best quarterback out of last year's 2024 NFL draft. Move over Jaden Daniels, you're hurt. Move over Caleb Williams, you're inconsistent. Bo Nix may have something to argue with Drake May, but right now, right now, this doesn't mean overall, right now, week 8, as week 8 is ending or getting close to ending, I should say, I have Drake May and Bo Nix 1-2 with Jaden Daniels third and Caleb Williams fourth if we're ranking how these quarterbacks are right now. Now, I could be biased and put Caleb over Jaden because Jaden's been hurt, but I won't. I won't. I'll take a whole body of work into consideration. But Drake made 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 282 yards. I mean, the guy is just a beast. Okay, I understand he was playing the Cleveland Browns, but Drake May continuously shows growth and development. Those same things that hindered Caleb Williams against the Baltimore Ravens, actually Drake May thrived in doing, beating down a worse team, just absolutely destroying the opposition who you are expected to beat. That is something that the Bears were coming into this year doing, or excuse me, coming into this week doing, beating the Saints, beating the Cowboys without CD Lamb. But Drake May and the Patriots left, no doubt about it. 32-13 over the Cleveland Browns, who lost rookie running back Quinshon Judkins to an injury. They totaled 68 yards on the ground. Their leading rusher, wait for it, wide receiver Malachi Corley. So I don't know what's going on in Cleveland. I know owner Jimmy Haslam recently said he wants Dillon Gabriel to get more playing time, and that's great. That's great. You're going to keep having performances like this. You won 1 game, and it was in a monsoon. That tells you all you need to know about your future quarterback. I've said this before, and I will repeat this message. I think it is imperative. I think it is crucial. I think it is so important for young quarterbacks to suck, to go through it and struggle. Now, if you're Jaden Daniels and you take your team, you're the number 2 pick and you go all the way to the NFC Championship in your first year, good on you. Good on your coaches, good on your franchise, good on you as a rookie quarterback. But now you have to deal with adversity, as Daniels has in your second season. When it comes to Shedeur Sanders, do I know if he's better than Dillon Gabriel? No. Do the Browns? No. All I know is Dillon Gabriel, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a total of 156-yard passing on 35 attempts. This is the same guy who the Browns had throw the ball 52 times just a couple weeks ago. Do I believe in him? Do I see Jerry Jeudy anywhere? No. He is making the most out of his tight ends in David Njoku and Harold Fannin, who is quickly rising into relevancy, whether it be on your player props, fantasy football, whatever it may be. But I don't know if Dillon Gabriel can get the ball to anyone except that the tight end position. Your leading rusher was a wide receiver. So at this point, I don't know what you have to lose, because you're at week 8, so maybe you give him another week or 2. You did the Flacco experiment, then you shipped him off. He's played much better, so he's probably thankful. You're doing the Dillon Gabriel experience. Now when do you go to the Shedeur Sanders experience? Because it's going to be an experience. You're going to get more ticket sales. You're going to get more jerseys flying off the shelves. You're going to be talked about way more, for good or for bad. You're going to bring appointment viewing football to the city of Cleveland, something that hasn't been seen all year. It just hasn't. I'm not going to sit here and bang the table for Shedeur Sanders every single week, but I think it's very obvious the kid needs to play. And you know what? Hats off to Drake May as well, continuing to make wide receiver after wide receiver relevant. I mean, Trayvon Henderson was the leading rusher for New England, but on the receiving side, Mac Hollins had 7 catches, Kayshon Boutte another touchdown, Hunter Henry a touchdown, Stephon Diggs a touchdown, 18 receptions, and all different receivers throughout the game for the Patriots. So Drake May doing it with his arm, doing it with his legs, and doing it with his brain, not locking in on just one receiver. I think Drake May is one of the best stories in the NFL. Big Cheesy said he was a Taysom Hill touchdown away from, oh man, big. That's brutal, Big Cheesy. Big Cheesy, get your thoughts as well. I don't want to sit here and go into bad talk, so I'm not going to talk about your team right now, but I do want to talk the most devastating injury we saw early today in the Giants and Eagles game, and that is the running back who captivated the NFL, and that is Cam Scatterboo. Everyone's favorite parlay, everyone's favorite player prop, everyone's favorite player in fantasy football. Hell, probably everyone's favorite player. Ruled out with a dislocated ankle. It was an awful, awful, disgusting injury. And if you are the New York Giants, it puts a nail in the coffin. Jackson Dart can only do so much by himself. They do have Tyrone Tracy, but I don't know that you can replace. Well, I know for a fact you can't replace the energy, the style of play that Cam Scatterboo had. It's just not going to happen. Jackson Dart, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, just under 200 yards. But the day belonged to Saquon Barkley. If you watched the morning show with the coach, myself, and Raphael, you heard me say, stay away from all player props in Philly. Saquon has yet to have a big game against the Giants. A.J. Brown is out. Well, what happened? Hello. Saquon Barkley, 150 yards on the ground, a touchdown, and a receiving touchdown. Tank Bigsby, yes, former Jaguars running back, he finally makes an impact in Philly, going for over 100 yards on the ground as well. Jalen Hurts, 4 touchdowns, 179 yards. I feel like I say this after every Eagles win. Jalen Hurts doesn't care about your stats. He doesn't care about your parlays. He doesn't care about your fantasy football. He just cares about getting the job done. I don't think we're going to see 300-yard performances from Jalen Hurts at all this season. We'll see him do enough to get the job done. Give me your thoughts in the chat on how your team did, or your thoughts on NFL Week 8 this season. On this Sunday, we will look ahead to the Packers and Steelers. I went ahead and got a 6-pack prepared for you guys. 6-pack of plays coming up here on Coaching Company. Again, I am Mike Pendleton. You can follow me on the X at MP2310. You also probably best know me as Mike EP. So elsewhere around the NFL, 49ers and Texans. The Texans, I don't know what to make of this Texans team. They're good, then they're really bad, then they're decent. Mac Jones was kind of the disappointing factor. 193 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. But the Niners had no offense in the first half. I mean, they had no offense in the first half. Christian McCaffrey was virtually non-existent on the day. And you give all the props to Kyle Shanahan. You want to see this team be consistent if you're the San Francisco 49ers, still 5-3 on the season. I still very much love their chances. I still very much like the outlook for them. Houston Texans improved to 3-4. I don't know what to make of this team. Nico Collins was out, and somehow they win without their best player. It is what it is. Bills steamrolled the Panthers 40-9. Andy Dalton was the starting quarterback. Bryce Young out in that game. The Buffalo Bills look like the Buffalo Bills we expected them to be. And then in the late game window, very quickly, the Buccaneers ran over the Saints 23-3. A little disappointing from a Tampa Bay aspect. I understand no Mike Evans. I understand no Chris Godwin. But Emeka Ibuka's back out there. You would have liked to see a Baker Mayfield rebound performance. You did not get one. Spencer Rattler in this game. Bench for Tyler Shuck. All right. I don't know why it took so long. I don't know why the change in the middle of the game. Spencer Rattler has 1 career win. And I think it would be best for the Saints to find out if their second-round pick rookie is the quarterback for at least a year or two, or if they're going to be looking to bring in maybe a Fernando Mendoza or whoever will declare for the NFL draft, as they are likely to have a top 3, if not the first overall pick. Saints are an awful team. You feel bad for some of the guys who want to stay there. Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave. You would think maybe you would be best to change your address. But Buccaneers moved to 6-2. You can only beat who's on your schedule. You can only play who's on your schedule. Broncos coming off that huge win over the New York Giants, the craziest comeback we've seen in NFL history. Well, they keep on rolling offensively, 44 points against the Dallas Cowboys. Another game in which we saw bench quarterbacks. Dak was out late in the fourth quarter. Bo Nix was actually benched. He had 4 touchdowns on the game through the air. 2 to Troy Franklin. Rookie running back RJ Harvey had 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground. Big Cheesy, I want to get to this comment here. You said, I felt that it was an easy read to take the Texans today. Line didn't move after Nico ruled out. And the reason I want to bring that up before I get back to the Cowboys and Broncos, Big Cheesy, I have a lot of respect, even though we don't agree often. I have a lot of respect for that because that shows how much you pay attention in this business, in this wide world of sports. Because when Lamar Jackson was ruled out, I would have immediately thought, not having an MVP and having Snoop Huntley going up against the Bears defense that led the league in takeaways, that the Bears may have moved to a pick'em, yet they remained at plus 2.5 underdogs. It didn't make sense. You watched the game this afternoon. It makes sense. They are who we thought they were. So watching line movements, incredibly important. Obviously, if Raphael was here, he would have more on that. But I want your instant reactions to Week 8 in the NFL because I can't do this without you guys. So just come on in, flood the chat, hit the like button if you can on your way in. So it is going to be interesting to say the least what we see here moving forward in this NFL season. But the Cowboys and Broncos, listen, the Cowboys were out half their defense, it felt like. No more Micah Parsons jokes. Their entire secondary was out. Trayvon Diggs is placed on injured reserve due to a concussion. The Cowboys, if they want to be taken seriously, and Jerry Jones talking about the first round picks, I don't know if you need pass rush or a secondary more. Right now, you may want to look at addressing your second. Maybe get both. Maybe really look around the league and see who's willing to give up both because the Dallas Cowboys are hitting the panic button at this point, or at least they need to be. A team that is not the Indianapolis Colts. 38-14 over the Tennessee Titans. A beatdown that wasn't unexpected and a performance that has come to be expected out of running back Jonathan Taylor. Not 1, not 2, 3 touchdowns, if I'm correct. I believe he had 1 through the air. Yep, so 3 touchdowns on the day for Jonathan Taylor. You probably cashed any tickets you played on Jonathan Taylor. He probably won in your fantasy leagues. He definitely led the Colts to a win. 21 of their 38 points coming off that workhorse of a running back. And, by the way, 7-1, Indianapolis improves their tremendous season. And Jonathan Taylor, I've said it once, I'll say it again, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again. Jonathan Taylor is right now, after Week 8, your offensive player of the year, and it's not even close. If you can find any relative, and I'll see if I can find it right now while we're live. If you can find any relative tickets to make it worth your while, I would look at Cash and Jonathan Taylor. I don't know the live odds, but I don't know anyone who's making as much of an impact for their team offensively. I mean, we might actually talk Jonathan Taylor over Daniel Jones. And Daniel Jones has been a fantastic story, and I understand all of that. But when it comes to the offensive player of the year, I don't think it's close. These odds very surprising on DraftKings. Patrick Mahomes, MVP, plus 135. Josh Allen, plus 350. And Drake May, number 3, plus 450. I don't see. I know you're going to give it to a quarterback. That's just kind of how the NFL has made this award out to be over the last several years. But when it comes to offensive player of the year, I don't even think it's worth debating. It's Jonathan Taylor and nobody else. And that wraps up Week 8 in the NFL. Except a big shout out to our chat queen, Kimberly. Obviously, we're not done yet because, Kimberly, you know what we have to do. And you know that before I get out of here, we have to put together a six-pack. I'm here by myself. There's only one thing we can do, and that is beat the books for Sunday Night Football. So here, if technology would cooperate, it is frozen on my end, but we will bring them up. Here it is. All right, you do not, and I caution you, I am not putting these together as a parlay, but we will go through each and every single one of these together. I like the Steelers on the money line. Take it from someone who has seen Aaron Rodgers throughout his entire career. This man knows vengeance. I don't want to sit here and call him Batman, but he might be just that. So give me the Steelers on the money line, and then give me Aaron Rodgers over 221.5 passing yards at a minus 115. Aaron Rodgers over 1.5 touchdowns. Give me Aaron Rodgers over 22.5 completions. Are you guys following the trend here? I think it's going to be a major night for Aaron Rodgers. However, also looking on the Packers, Big Cheesy says he's on the Packers. I can't hate on it. I'd like to as a Bears fan, but I can't hate on it. Tucker Kraft over 53.5 receiving yards. And when Aaron Rodgers has over 1.5 touchdowns, he's got to throw to somebody. Who's he throwing to? He is throwing DK Metcalf anytime touchdown at a plus 150. So those are my 6-pack of plays. Again, you want to parlay a couple of them. You want to play them all straight. Do as you feel comfortable with. Last time your boy put together a 6-pack, I'm just saying, nothing went down as smooth as an undefeated 6-pack. If you guys have any plays you want to discuss, we'll just stay here for a couple more minutes. I appreciate everyone coming in and hanging out. Big Cheesy, Rodgers over half a passing interception, minus 105. I don't hate it. I mean, the thing for me is I have hated, and I don't know how you're going to feel about this, Big Cheesy, but I have hated Aaron Rodgers for his entire career, especially as a Green Bay Packer. But I have learned over his entire career that it does not matter how I feel. There are games that Aaron Rodgers just gets up for, and I think this is one of those. He's not perfect. The only thing I would proceed with caution with in this game is I would be a little hesitant to believe that Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, and shout out to Kimberly, our chat queen, who holds it down as a Steelers fan, I would be hesitant to believe that Mike Tomlin would say, yeah, Aaron, go get yours. Go get yours. Go have your day. I have 4-2 with the Ravens getting a win. It's not that the AFC North is becoming dangerous, because they're not. The Steelers are at 4-2, the Bengals at 3-5, so obviously a good lead there. But with Baltimore expected to get Lamar Jackson back next week, at least that's the report, you don't want to give your opposition any chance of hope. So I believe Mike Tomlin may take the narrative out of this game. I think he may steal the fireworks out of this game. And if he does, I still like Jaylen Warren on the ground. I would say this, to me, is going to show the state of the Packers franchise. We have seen this before. It is a same song and dance with the Green Bay Packers. We went from Brett Favre, who got moved. Obviously, we know how his career went after he left. Went to the Jets, went to the Vikings. Almost similarly, almost identically, I should say. Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets, now goes to another team, and the Pittsburgh Steelers has them playing good football. We know what Favre did when he went to the Vikings. Now we're going to see what Rodgers does as a Steeler. But Jordan Love is a guy I can't believe in right now. And take all the blue and orange off. Take it all off. 4-1-1. You lost to Joe Flacco. You nearly lost to Joe Flacco twice. You tied the Cowboys. And you nearly lost to Jacoby Brissett. Now, I know those nearly losses are actually wins, so it's hard to hate on those. However, you don't show me, the Green Bay Packers, that you're a serious contender as a football team yet. I just don't see it. The only thing I know about the Packers is this. Josh Jacobs is going to get his touchdown, and Tucker Kraft is their go-to wide receiver on big play situations. Their most consistent wide receiver, surprise, surprise, Romeo Doubs of all players. Big return for the Packers tonight, however, so it could be very, very interesting. Christian Watson suffered a torn ACL in Week 18 against the Chicago Bears last season. He is back tonight. So we will see how Christian Watson does alongside Dobbs, Golden, Kraft, and Jacobs. Right there, that offensive crew, the Packers have an offense. I could sit here and say it. The Packers have an offense. I don't trust Jordan Love. He's up, he's out. He is truly a quarterback roller coaster. He doesn't play consistent enough. So we're going to see the story of the Packers franchise. Where are the Packers? You moved on from Rodgers. You gave the keys to Love. And we're going to see the career trajectory of Rodgers. We're going to see where he's at. If he has this team at 5-2, and I know he said it's all love and there's no animosity and he's going to retire a Packer, that's great. I also know Aaron Rodgers to get up for big games. I want to thank everyone for hanging out tonight. Before we get out of here, we'll take a look at the SNF special one more time. Again, 6 different plays. You can parlay a few of them. You can do it however you'd like. But here they are. Steelers on the money line. Aaron Rodgers over 221.5 passing yards. Rodgers over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, again, like I said, I'm all over this guy tonight. Over 22.5 completions, while Tucker Kraft, the very reliable tight end for the Packers, over 53.5 receiving yards. And DK Metcalf, anytime touchdown. That's it. That is our Week 8 review here on this Sunday, October 26th. As we start to look ahead to Week 9, but we still got 2 games left. Don't forget, if you are a fan or a premium member, we will have premium pop-ups later this week. We have the Sunday Night Football tonight. We will have the Monday Night Grind tomorrow night for the Commanders and Chiefs game. Nobody tell Coach the Chiefs are on Monday Night Football. I know. It's going to be one of those nights. But before we get to the nighttime, don't forget, this week preempted on Stadium. So it is guest host week on Coaching Company, still live right here on our YouTube channel. That's very, very important. I'm going to repeat that so everyone can get it. We are not on Stadium this week. It is going to be our YouTube channel only, and we are going to have special guest hosting week on the Coach and Company morning show, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on the Coach and Company YouTube page. Also, don't forget, Monday and Thursday, you have the Coach and Bro with the Coach and Vince Russo. And every single day, Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 Eastern, channel 156 on SiriusXM, you have Off the Ropes with the Coach, talking all things pro wrestling. For everyone, for the chat, Big Cheesy, our chat queen, Kimberly, nonsense, every single one of you who came in and checked us out, Erica Taylor, appreciate you as well. Thank you to everyone who tuned in as I ran this ship on my own tonight. We will see you guys tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, on Coaching Company. Until then, we'll see you soon, guys.